Rosh Hashanah daf ches. How's everybody doing? The Gemara darshins in the pasuk in Tehila. It says in the pasuk, "Lovshu karim hatzayin." The Gemara understands it to mean that the tzayin, the sheep, became pregnant. When? Va'amakim yatvu bar. When in the Emek, in the valley, there's a lot of wheat. In other words, in other they become pregnant. The pasuk continues this story. Au af yashiru. The wheat becomes dried out, that when it knocks each other, they sing, makes noise. In other words, there are those sheep that become pregnant even a month later in Nisan. But it's a minority. Tanakam in our Mishnah says that the first day of Elul is Rosh Hashanah for Meiser Behema. Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Shimon argue, and they say, Meiser Behema is the first day of Tishrei. What's the machlokes? Machlokes is how to learn the Hekesh. In the famous pasuk of Aser to Aser, we're familiar with the pasuk. You should give Meiser tzedakah in order to become wealthy. The Gemara darshans, one Meiser is referring to Meiser daga, the Meiser on fruit. The other Meiser, the double lashon, comes to tell us Meiser behem. So according to Rameir, we make a hekesh. Just like the Meiser daga, you take the Meiser close to when it's finished. In other words, the first day of Tishrei. So too Meiser behema is close to when the animals finish. In other words, the first day of Elul. But Rabbi Lazar and Shimon, they learn the hekesh differently. They say, just like the date is the first day of Tishrei, so too Meiser behema is the first day of Tishrei. We continue. The first day of Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah l'shanim. What does that mean? It means that we count the years of the king based on the first day of Tishrei. So when you write documents, you have to put in, if it's a non-Jewish king, the first day of Tishrei is the beginning of his kingdom. And the first day of Nisan is how we count the Jewish kings. Rav Chisda brings the sources for these two things. Or we can say that according to Rav Chisda, our Mishnah is saying that Shanim is not referring to Jewish kings. It's referring to the seasons. It's Rosh Hashanah for the seasons. Like Rav Lazar says, the world was created in Tishrei. Therefore, all seasons are based on Tishrei. According to Rav Nachman, it's referring to the first day of Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah l'din. That's when they judge. HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges the world. Pasuk says, Ki chayk Yisrael hu mishpat le'lekei Yaakov. In other words, we learn from here that only after Klal Yisrael is mekadesh the month, only then can they judge the world l'mala and shemayim. The nations of the world also have judgment because it says le'lekei Yaakov. Yaakov is God, so to speak. But Yisrael, Klal Yisrael, have an advantage. They're judged first, like a king that goes into judgment. He'll go before the common folk. Either because it's not befitting a king to wait outside, or HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kaviyachal is less upset in the beginning of the day. Rosh Hashanah, the first day of Tishrei, is also Rosh Hashanah for Shemitah. And we learn Zera Shav, Shana from Tishrei. Tishrei is the first in Tishrei, so too for the world. Yovel, like Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika, it's very interesting. Yovel begins in Rosh Hashanah and ends in Yom Kippur. In other words, from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, the slaves are free, but they don't go home until Yom Kippur. According to Chachamim, Bezdin are Mekadesh the year. They have to announce this year's Mekudesh, but they don't announce it for the months. Yovel he is an exclusion, it's a miyut, and it comes to say that once Yovel is over, it's over at the end of the year, and it doesn't go 10 days into from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, like we just said, it starts out from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. And according to Chachamim, it comes to teach us that Yovel, we don't count it as the first year of the next cycle of Shemitah. Rather, it's 49 years of Shemitahs, then the 50th year is Yovel, and that's it. We don't count it for the following cycle. Have a wonderful day.